Yes, we will. We love Christmas decorations.
Well, I have plenty of it for you, and it still looks good.
All right, that sounds right. Yeah, bring it on down anytime before 5. So I just got in a gift. Somebody gave me a birthday present, an iPhone 1. I mean, do you remember? I got this phone, the first iPhone when it first came out, the iPhone 1, right? So it was kind of like, what was it, the iPod? So it was the iPod Touch, right? And then they put cellular phone in it. So I got this phone. I thought I was super cool. I thought it was big when I got it because I went from a flip phone to this phone, or probably a BlackBerry, and I thought I was super cool because of the touch screen. So I'm all day long, I'm showing people, oh, let me see your phone, looking at my phone. Then that night I go out to dinner, right? At the time, my kids were all real little, so we went to Friendly's because they love the ice cream. And I'm walking into Friendly's and I drop it on the ground and I crack the freaking screen. First damn day that I owned an iPhone. That day, I switched back to Android and I've been there ever since. This is I don't even know, I can't even, this must have been like 15 years ago I bought one of these. I don't really know. And now I have the, look at the camera, the iPhone, and look at the camera in my S21 Max Pro Gorilla version. I don't even know what it is, tell you the truth. I just know it works. Look at the size of the screen's difference, the camera difference. Phones are literally computers. Does size matter? That's the question. Does size matter? I don't think so. I just need an average phone, so,
This is not an average phone.
This is not an average phone?
No.
You think that's big?
That's above average phone, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I got big hands.
How you doing? This is Esteban from Death Pile Destroyers, and I'm here again to do another video for Liquidation Motivation. And I wanted to talk to the audience in regards to what is retro, what is vintage, and what is antique, and why the importance of each. So let me show you an example of the number one, retro. Retro will be considered anything that's less than 20 years old. Anything less than 20 years old, in other words, considered modern. But that's given a different twist that makes it look older. So for example, this would be a great example of a retro item. This is a Nintendo Entertainment System. What they did was they gutted it and they made it into something that we could use nowadays, but with the old look or the older feel. Same thing with the Super Nintendo, and the same thing for this Bluetooth turntable. They used something with an old idea, and then they made it into something new that is currently modern.
I like these cases with the little, that way when I'm watching a video, it's real simple.
You dropped your phone in the toilet?
I know, I've done it. You ever done that before?
No.
You never dropped your phone in a toilet? I've done that. You never?
No. Have you
watching your phone and
Huh? Have you adjusted your glasses?
Not my glasses yet, but.
Action.
What? You're lying. You better not have press start. I'm not ready. Esteban, stop! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me know.
Action.
Hi. I'm Sarah with ReSale America, and as you guys know, I work in the eBay department. Everything down here is everything that we sold over the weekend on our eBay store. So we sold this as a bundle set for the Xbox One. You have, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, about 15 games in there. We got a pair of jeans. We have some decanters. They're pretty old. Did we sell this? A camera lens. A DeWalt laser. We have these Shun knives. These go retail value pretty expensive. You can find them on our site for a good price. More clothing items. I don't know what this is.
It's a grinder.
It's a grinder. Comes with the bag and all. It looks pretty new. And we have another knife here. We have our Logitechs. More clothing items. This is a $130 jacket that we probably sold for
Maybe half.
$50, $60. We have our water pick two things. We have our Mooney babies, and we also sell the full kit with the 2 cameras. This is just the individual camera. Minecraft Lego set. boxes. We have tons of these on our store. And then we have these Rico projectors, which we also have a ton of. This is what it looks like. It's pretty fancy. And then we also sell golf covers of college state teams. Let's go with this. And these are super cheap on eBay. So this is everything that we've got to ship out today. We've got about how many items? 28 items that we have to ship out. So we have to take all of our shipping in consideration, how we're going to ship it out, how we're going to save costs on shipping, and get it out today so our guys can get it in like 3 days. Okay, move on.
So what I have here is a Cabbage Patch doll. This would be considered vintage because it is over 20 years old. Alongside the Chucky doll right here, this would be considered a vintage item. Now, this Teddy Ruxpin. Now, the original Teddy Ruxpin did come out over 20 years ago and would be normally considered vintage, but this particular Teddy Ruxpin is a good example of something that's retro. What they did was they brought it back and made it modern for younger children in our era or in our time. This here is a Polaroid automatic land camera, and this came out way before 20 years ago. It's almost 50 years. So this would be considered an antique. This right here is also an antique. I have no idea which brand it is. Oh, RCA Victor. So this would be considered an antique piece. So here's the thing, guys. Why is it so important for us to know this? For us as sellers, we need to know what's going to move and what's not going to move when it comes to putting things in our inventory to sell. So I want to go over what antique, who goes for those antique items and who goes for vintage and who goes for the retro items. In regards to vintage items, it's more of a nostalgia for those that are hitting their 40s and 50s. They're going back and grabbing those 20-year-old items. But in regards to, let's say, people that are in their 70s looking for things that are 50 years old, they're not gonna have the money to buy things like this, or not wanting to buy things like this. It's just a cool thing for them. However, what I would still be mindful of who could be your buyer. And in my opinion, I think it'll be more of those movie sets, movie designers, anything that has to do with recreating old feels. Like, for example, Disney likes to recreate theme parks in regards to retro or older antique feel. Also, a lot of people like to take those antique items and also manipulate them and make them into more of an art piece more than a usable piece. For example, some people like to use the old TVs and gut them out and make them into a picture frame or something like that, or maybe taking an old camera and making it into a lamp. When it comes to vintage items, these are things that's more nostalgic. These are things that someone like me that's in my 40s, I want the die-cast Voltron doll that I didn't get when I was a kid, and I want to put it in my man cave and just leave it, collecting dust. But it's just a cool piece to add to my man cave. So vintage items would be something like that. Also, vintage items could be something more collectible in regards to the value of it. So maybe a cool comic book, or a baseball card, or for me it would be like a Michael Jordan basketball card, or maybe a Tom Brady rookie card. That would be pretty cool. So vintage items like that, that's something that in my generation I would go for. Now, as far as retro, those people who are looking for retro are those that just think it's a cool factor. I like to buy retro t-shirts. So I have a Voltron t-shirt, I have a Mega Man t-shirt, and just to show it off, retro would be something that's old but brought into the modern age and remade for this age. I don't know what I'm saying. So this is one of the TVs that we're currently remodeling, so this way it can actually work. So this would be considered a vintage television that will work in the modern day age. So we have a new guy, his name is Charles. He's gonna be repairing this so this we can sell it here at ReSale America. I hope this video helped you guys a lot in regards to what the difference is between vintage, antique, and retro. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments below. Thanks.